Mas maganda ML kesa dyan sa Wild Rift nyo.
Oo, talaga? Kinopya nga lang ng ML na yan yung LOL eh.
Guys. Smite.
Truce?
Truce.
Anong nangyayari?
Ito, ano yung sinasabi mo, Smite?
Sasalita ka ba? Diyan mo ka ako. May mukha mo. Ano ka? Sasalita ka ba? Ano? Intro!
Dito, ano yung sinasabi mo?
Hey Hobbyist, this is Sir Hobbyist and baka mabash tayo ng Smite community pero buti na lang they don't exist. Wild Rift Alpha Test is out and sadly hindi ako nakaabot as an alpha tester. Ngayon, marami tayong nakikitang streamer na nakakapag-alpha test na ng Wild Rift at hindi ako inggit. Hindi talaga.
Hindi nga eh!
Slight lang. At sa mga nag-ML na gustong lumipat ng Wild Rift, let me be the first to say that in my, oh my god, 8 years? 8 years of playing League? Welcome! I don't wanna be singed and be toxic, you'll get that eventually, and say na bawal kayo dito. Tulad ng mga nakikita kong meme katulad nito. Guys, kaya nga gumawa si Rito ng mobile version ay para mas dumami ang fanbase at players. More players means more people to play with. Except if you're a mumu, walang may gusto sa'yo. Alis!
Alis sabi!
Kakang hindi ikaw. Kang... So I'm making this video to teach about a thing or two to ML players who are thinking of playing or completely transferring to Wild Rift. Now, disclaimers. All of the things I would be saying here will be based on my knowledge of playing LoL PC. So bear with me. Let's go to our first tip. In playing League, you should be well aware of your position and lane. Traditionally, the Dragon side would be for the ADC, or also known as MM, and the support. The mid lane would be traditionally for burst mages or AD assassins, and the Baron or Rift Herald side would be for bruisers and sustains. And jungle is, well, for the junglers who can clear the jungle camps very quickly and very efficiently without dying. Don't try to have the 1-3-1 ng ML because that don't work here. LoL underscores the importance of laning. Bakit need ang ADC ang support? Because the ADC needs to get items fast enough to turn the tide of the game. Or else, para siyang tigawat ng mga high school students at puputukin lang siya ng mga assassins. The supports are going to be sustaining the ADC to ensure its scaling and its survivability. And oh, not all supports are tanks, and not all tanks are supports. In ML, the middle laner usually is the one roaming, but similar to the ADC, the mid laner needs to scale and control the middle lane, the most important lane arguably, to ensure map control. They would be semi-roamers compared to the junglers. Now, the junglers are perhaps the most important part of the lineup in my opinion, since they would often control the map, get objectives, and secure the kills of some laners. It is usually best to wait for the jungler before you have any idea of attacking. And also, don't take their farm in the early game. Because if you do, kahit hindi si Trundle ang jungler nyo, magkakaroon kayo ng troll na kakampi. Now, the top or Baron lane has always been a tricky place to be. You could be a fighter like Wukong or Darius. You could be a sustain like Shen or Poppy. And the meta right now that I'm seeing is AD carries like Lucians or Vayne. Either ways, yung top lane, yung parang library mo sa school, minsan lang dinadalaw. Since top laners are expected to be the most sustainable in all of the teams, they are expected to do well alone most of the time. So huwag kayong magagalit kung hindi madalas ang jungler nyo sa inyo. Tip 2. Know your summoner spell. Knowing your lane also comes with knowing your summoner spells. Depende sa composition ng team ninyo or sa team ng kalaban, you will have to adjust your spell.
Ako na lang lagi yung nag-a-adjust
Bawal humugot. Labas! Labas! Ito, usually, ang mga summoner spells na ginagamit ng bawat role sa bawat lane. Tip number 3. Don't use Yasuo. Tip number 3.5. Don't use the Satan spawn. Tip number 4. Warding. Unlike sa Dota, League of Legends made it clear that warding is not only the support's job. Each champion is only allowed to place 3 stealth wards and 1 control ward. The former grants vision, the latter denies vision of your enemies. You would want to place wards in crucial places before taking an objective as well as denying the vision of your enemy. Usual placing for wards would be this for top lane, this for middle lane, and this for bottom lane, or Baron lane, middle lane, Dragon lane, respectively. There are many situations and places where you can place your wards, but the most important thing to highlight is that granting or denying vision gives you an advantage against your enemies. In LoL as well, there could be what we call a vision war, wherein your team would be warding around a certain objective as well as denying the enemy vision of that same objective, and usually them stopping you from letting you deny them of their objective. Does that make sense? Leading most of the time sa hindi pumapansin sa'yo. Clash. I stand by this joke. Tip number 5, and this is my last tip, is to allow yourself to learn. Going into a new game is difficult, especially if you think that you know what you're doing. LoL has a lot of mechanics different to ML, and I respect that, but make sure that you also allow yourself to be familiarized with the system. Humble yourself and ask the internet or your friends about how you can improve your games and adapt better in Wild Rift or in LoL PC. No one starts as an expert. Kahit ako, hindi ako expert. Highest I achieved was Diamond 5. Na-demote pa ako nun. Naghang yung PC ko, I swear. I didn't quit. Rito, believe me. So, ask around how you learn more, and don't be cocky and say na global Yasuo ka na agad or diamond ka na in 1 week. Yes, it's good to keep those dreams, but also you have to allow yourself to learn. So if you're planning on switching to LoL,
Smite's good too.
hush, or just adding it to your list of games, then let me welcome you from one toxic community to another. Let the trash talks begin! This has been Sir Hobbyist, and I love you guys. Peace.